Hey, good morning, big bikers. Well, you should be able to tell from how brown everything is that I'm not in Victoria anymore, or New South Wales. I'm actually back in Queensland, and I've got my tinted visor back on. Well, I can't plead COVID-19 for this one. Due to an unforeseen set of circumstances, I'm restarting the trip. I'm back in Queensland. I'm doing a complete reset on Big Bike Adventures on the Road 2020. So this is BBA on the Road 2020, take 2. So dry up here in Queensland. It's chalk and cheese, I mean, between Victoria and New South Wales, and they talk about, you know, the drought being over down there, but I tell you what, it's not over here. It is so dry. Anyway, so what happened was, about 4 weeks ago now, so the last video you saw was the Labor Day long weekend, and I was in Victoria. I was at Lake Hume, and I went for a ride with Paul from It's All About the Ride, Keeping It Alive, and Matt and Andrew. Thanks for that, guys. It was a really good ride. About a week before that, I got an email from the company that's got all my gear in storage. So if you remember, I packed everything in the van at the end of last, or at the end of last year, beginning of this year, and then I moved into the van, and then January 2020 I took off. I kind of sold almost everything, and all the stuff I wanted to keep I put into storage. Got an email from the storage company saying that they'd sold their property and everyone had to get out. You got 3 weeks notice. If you don't get everything out, we're going to dump it. So I went, So I was in Victoria. I had the keys to my 1200 and it was locked up, and I had to get back to unlock it and unchain it, but I had all my other stuff I need to sort out and put into another storage facility. So I thought, you know, my choices were just drive back, sort it out, and then come back to Victoria. But you know, I was just starting to get a little bit too cold. As the snow level dropped, they're just going to start closing off all the national parks. So I thought, you know what, there's no point. But I've decided what I'm going to do now is I've come back to Queensland. I've sorted out all the container issues. I've got everything in a new storage facility. I've actually given my 1200 to my mate Neil, as you know, and he's parked Mrs. Robinson up beside Charlene. They're not allowed to touch though. He made that very clear. He doesn't want any Honda germs on his BMW. But big shout out to Neil for making space in his shed for the big 1200, and I'm keeping the 1200 because I'm going to do a lap of Australia on that, and I want the big touring bike for that. So that's why that one's still in the shed. So thanks to Neil for taking care of her. I left the caravan up on top of the Great Dividing Range, so I didn't want to drag it down into Brisbane, and I left that at Normie's place. So thanks for that, mate. Appreciate that. And because it is the rain van, it gave him a few mil rain just for the trouble, so that was good too. Anyway, here I am back in Queensland, thinking what I'll do is I'll go out to Cunnamulla, and then I'll come down to Burke, and then from Burke I'll go to Broken Hill, and then Broken Hill I'll go back up to Packsaddle and use that as a base, and from Packsaddle I'll use the four-wheel drive and the bike just to do some satellite exploration between Tiverborough and Broken Hill, a place called Milparika, and that's where Charles Sturt set himself up with a base for quite a long time, and the death of one of his team there, and so we're going to go out there and have a look. And that's a pretty remote country. It's actually the perfect time of year to be out in the Outback, so big sky out there, I tell you. So the plan for today is just to run into Inglewood. I'll get some fuel, grab a coffee. There's actually a pretty good little coffee shop there. I'll have a coffee, and then I'm going to duck off and do some dirt, just a little ride, just to get some dirt on the tyres and have a look around. So if you've got an Africa Twin and you live in southeast Queensland, which is kind of a little bit east of here, then join the Southeast Queensland Africa Twin group on Facebook. Hook up with Steve Moore. He's got some incredible experience and knowledge of the tracks around here, and I reckon, Steve, you should probably set up a ride based out of Toowoomba and take him to show him some of this stuff around here. Great time of year and lots of great tracks out around this way. So, if you remember that ride I did from the down to the Pelican and meet up with Hado and the boys, Scotty and all the fellas, Timothy, you'll remember that I came back kind of through the back of this area. Viewers, Canadian fella, can't remember your name, I'm sorry, right now I can't remember your name. He said just show us some of the places that you ride through and just give you an overview. So this is very much a very typical Queensland little town, this one, just one main street, couple of pubs, post office, and then you go 2 streets that way and it's just all bush. So this is what it's like in country Queensland. And Inglewood, there's probably about 2,000 people here, population of 2,000 I'd say. So we're going to go into the coffee shop over there, the Inglewood coffee shop, and have a coffee. Probably not allowed to do this, but you know, not allowed to go over 100 kilometres an hour either, and I never do that. Yeah, the coffee's done. I just stopped at a little coffee shop there. But when I got some fuel at the servo there, I was talking to this young fella, and he's going, "Oh, hey, yeah, cool bike, you know, blah blah. Where are you going?" So I want to try and get up to the lookout up the top there. He said, "Oh, no, a really cool way for you to do that." So he's told me to come this way. That's where we're going. The good thing about this part of the country is that you don't need to go very far off the main highway to hit the dirt. The problem is there's very, very few dirts that run consistently parallel with the highway, so it's a real problem to try and stitch together a series of dirt roads to get from, you know, east to west. You kind of end up a lot of the time going north and south. And it just adds so much to the trip. Nice and sandy, look at that. If in doubt, throttle it out. The Bringalilli State Forest Inglewood section. Interesting, I wonder where that goes. The problem with this sort of country that you can't actually see landmarks. As I was going into Inglewood before, as I was going into Inglewood, there was a bit of a hill with phone towers, and I just wanted to get a bit of a vista. And the problem with flying the drone around this sort of stuff is there's just nothing to see. It's all so flat. Keep in mind we're a long way west now, so Oh, look at this sand. So we're a long way west of the Great Dividing Range. Well, you know, maybe 400 kilometres west of the Great Dividing Range. So we're starting to get out into the mulga where it flattens out a bit. But I just checked the map and there's a bit of an intersection up here. Nice and sandy. Beautiful. Oh! Okay, this looks like wild dog fence. Well, okay, so we're back here. Oh. Alright, I wonder if I'm going to sink into the sand if I put it down here. Stay, girl. I think we stay on this one. PSI out of that front actually. 26 should probably be down around 20. It's not too bad. I was so impressed with that Pirelli. I got to tell you, it's such a good tyre. You know, if you've been watching the last few videos, I've been through everything. I've been through, you know, the Victorian country. I've been through really nice twisties, just dirt roads, mud, now sand, and it's just such a great tyre, such a good all-rounder, and it lasts. That's the other thing too, is that, you know, I can get 8,000-9,000 kilometres out of it. I don't know where this goes. The track turned off the main track. I think I'm supposed to go left back down there. I'd imagine, yep. Tyre spikes here. It's very sandy. Not even sure I know where it goes. no idea where I am. Oh, looks like a road up here. Alright. There's the dog fence again. So I suspect if I go this way, I should be able to get back out to the Millmerran Road. I might just put the camera on the back. Hang on. So this dog fence, the wild dog fence, used to be called the dingo fence. I've measured it several times and been through it a number of times on the trip out west, and this is the one that's actually the longest fence in the world, and it goes from here, actually not that far from here, only a couple hundred kilometres from here, out the back of Dalby, place called, I can't remember the name of it. I'll find the name of it, I'll put it in here, but it goes from there all the way down to the coast in South Australia. And strangely enough, when I was stuck at Gundagai, I was looking at a map I had on the wall at Gundagai, and it actually mapped out the whole dog fence, along with a heap of other things it was mapping out, but it mapped out the dog fence. When I get down to South Australia, I'll take you to the end of that. I've actually been to, I've got to find the footage, I've got footage from when I went to the northern end of that, and we crossed the gate at Cameron Corner the few times we've been out there, and I might even do it again this trip, and then all the way down to South Australia. So wherever it's relevant, I'll make reference to it. But this is the wild dog fence, originally called the dingo fence, and it's designed to keep the wild dogs that are in South Australia and Central Australia. It's designed to keep those dogs out of all the rich grazing land in New South Wales, Victoria, and kind of southwestern Queensland. So that's that's what that's there for. And you've seen from some of the earlier videos when I was down around the Gundagai area, and you saw the quality of the agricultural land, and so that's what they wanted to do, is they wanted to keep the wild dogs on that side of the fence. So we're on the inside of it here. Oh, big fence again. There's a road each side, so I have to go that way anyway, so whole lot of nothing. So now we're on the outside of the fence. Side. I don't want to get in a situation where I'm kind of fighting with the bike and end up hitting the post over there, so I'd rather ride in a bit deeper sand over this side than spear off into a tree. No, I don't want to do that either. Right, so this might have one of the beepers on it. Here's the gate. If I'd have come down here, I just would have been able to ride straight through. See that? Alright, we're going this way. What I'm looking for is Mosquito Creek, or the road through Mosquito Creek. Corner. Wongavale. Nearly Wonga Way. The Robert Wicks access. There you go. Steve, you'll know where this is. I reckon Wongawale, Yurungapilli Road. We can go this way. Yep. Actually trying to get over to Mosquito Creek and back over to where the caravan is at Lake Coolmunda. So I should have kept going. Sand riding 101. Stand up instantly and put your weight back. Actually, I've got my tool bag on the back. I can nice and easily sit on that. What I'm looking for. Funny, you know, like I just didn't need the tinted visor down in Victoria, and the further south I went, the less handy this visor became, because the sun just down there, because we're not, obviously, because you're further south you go, the further away you're getting from the sun. Hello. So yeah, but as I came back up here, yeah, I need to put the tinted visor back on. But it's funny, as I go west, I'm going to not only need to put the tinted visor on, I'm going to need to put the tinted visor and sunglasses. It's so bright in Western Australia. I don't know what it is. Welding goggle, that's what you need. I'm looking forward to getting over there, riding with you guys over there. But I will get there. Slight delay, but you know, no rush, right? That's the caravan park I'm staying at, down by the lake.
Bye.